Welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by Lab Media TV. My name is Hezekiah Morales, and here we go. Remember to follow us on social media at Lab Media TV. What does Roland, I think the DGShape have lined up for the market?
That's a good question. DGShape in 2020 has a couple of few gadgets that we're releasing for most of our milling devices. The first thing you'll see is we have a 6-pin clamp. We're migrating from the 3-pin holder that we normally have in a 42W. So now you can get 6 units done in 2 hours. So that's pretty significant. The other thing we have that will be released soon for 2020 for the 42W is titanium abutment milling. So we never had this on any of our devices in the future. And basically it allows you to put 1 unit at a time right now because we have a new milling technology. So we place 1 unit in and you mill it out. It takes roughly an hour. That might be a little bit too long for some and just right for others. But you can mill titanium abutments and make custom abutments basically from Metadinka, Geomedi, and NT. So these are the versions or the interfaces we're working on today. And we also have potentially some coming in the future, but we're going to start there. Now another thing we're looking at, especially for the people that are here at LMT, is we have a touchscreen tablet where we're going to migrate vPanel potentially to, so vPanel is that a maintenance platform that we have for our devices. For our latest machines, we've kind of taken the 52D, the DCI, and the 42W and put them all on one vPanel so you don't have to run multiple vPanels at the same time. So now we have it where everything's on one, and as we go forward, they'll all still be on one, but trying to find a better way for users to interface with it. So instead of them going to a PC, now you can kind of manage everything on the screen itself. So that's another thing that we're doing. We also have, of course, the time reduction kits, which we've launched for about 1.5 years now. We have a new version where you take the tray, you mill out the teeth indents, so it'll be like maybe about 2 to 3 millimeters off the incisal edge, and then you take prefabricated teeth if you want to use prefabs, and you would set them up, glue them into position. Then you go through the process of polymerizing the acrylic on top of that. So now you have a tray with the teeth in place with the acrylic, and you can mill that on the machine and polish it, and you're done instead of going through any tooth setting process. So we have that option, and then we also have what everybody has requested, which is a C-clamp version for the latest machine. So if you remember the 51D, we have the C-clamp, and everyone can slide the material in, and then they love this idea or concept that started to come out called 90-degree milling. So they mill directly on the facial anatomy of a full arch bridge. So now we have clamps for that, and we have a clamping system. The clamp is actually an adapter, so now you can use that for the 52DC and the DCI as well as the 52D, and you still have capability to that, whereas before our adapter design didn't allow you to do it. So that should excite a few of our users that we have. And then last but not least, the software for DW Index is kind of taking an uplift or upgrade. We're taking it from a PC-based software platform and going to a web app. So it's going to be cloud-based for all your machines, and the data is going to be up there. We have a new design coming. We also are prototyping an inventory management feature that potentially in the future will be paid for, or you'll have to pay for it, but today's users are getting it for free once it's built. We will have a new ROI feature that'll tie into a few other things. So there's a lot of new small things, not necessarily machines, but we have a lot of new gadgets and upgrades to the devices that we currently have that make them accessible. I can also tell everybody that DW Index, if you've seen it, will be available for the 42W, the 51D, and we'll grab all the data from all those machines, and you'll be able to see that live once we get into the web app. So that's a 2020 in a nutshell. Some things might carry over to 2021. You'll see it at IDS, but yeah, this is what we have planned for this year. So we're very excited about it. I would say maybe the last thing is a printer that we're kind of showcasing at the show. So we have a printer from it's called DFab. It's from DWS. The very unique thing about this printer is that it's cartridge based. You don't have any cleanup. There's no washing of any of the resins. So you pretty much print it on a very small printing platform, take it out, cure it, and you're done. but it only does quadrants. It does about anywhere between 1 to 6 units, and it's temporary because there's no like real solid resin. But the one kicker is it's multi-shaded, so you can actually do a multi-shaded crown as a temporary, and you can print it out in about 10 to 20 minutes, which is different than any other printing device on the market today. So it's a very unique workflow. It does come with a high price point, but it is a unique printer in its workflow.
Now, this printer, you said you didn't say it's a rolling printer.
It's not a rolling printer.
What's the dynamic with this?
Roland has always been known for having our own devices and stuff like that. This is more of a kind of a stepping stone in 3D printing we are making this year, trying to come out with a different concept. We noticed that this manufacturer had a unique workflow and system. It didn't make any sense to reinvent the wheel this year. So this year, this is more like I said, that first step. You take it, you see if it works, see what the market thinks, and then if the market likes the concept, then maybe that's something that we take the technology and build something in the future. So that's the concept behind what we're doing, but we want to see what the market thinks, which is why we're showcasing it here today.
Now, your position has changed.
Yeah, a little bit.
The last couple of months.
Well, last year
actually,
almost.
Yes, almost
Yeah,
a
it
year
has.
now.
It has been a year.
So how have you been feeling in your new position? What are the new challenges? What are we going to be? Because I'm not seeing you on the floor anymore.
No. Actually, I wouldn't even say I'm stuck up here, but no. What's going on is I've taken a different type of product management role. So before I was a product manager of DGA, which is the Americas, your Canadian market, your U.S. market, your Latin America market, and I pretty much wore a few different hats as far as content development, support a little bit. You had trainings, you had speeches and presentations, so I was doing all that stuff. And then business development, and then now I'm migrated to a new role where I've been blessed to work with the headquarters team in Japan, so I work directly now for the manufacturer of the product as a global product manager that has filtered into business development and product testing. So I'm more of a voice of the customer. And for even the new features we have here today, we do a lot of product testing. So for the U.S. market, I'm still based in the U.S. I'm not in Japan, of course. But I do a lot of testing with all of our customers here. And I walk them through the process of testing. I train them, and I am more like their main contact person for anything. And our goal is just to get feedback from our users so we can make better products in the future. That's the whole concept. On the flip side of things, if there's anything that I can use the other talents that I have, which is like prototyping and designing manuals or helping them with ideas for future products, that's also in my role as well. So I'll do that and I'll help out. So I enjoy it. It's been fun. It's more like a focused area of things that all tie into the same concept of coming out with better products in the future, versus the other one was products released and you have to work how that product will fit in your markets, and then take what you have and try to make the best out of it, versus, hey, let's start it from scratch and build it from the beginning. So that's the real concept. So I'm enjoying it. It's been fun. It's definitely been a blessing.
That's fantastic. And obviously, some people are obviously missing you on the floor. I wrote a message. I asked, where is Dwight? And somebody on Instagram messaged back, and they said, in our heart. So you're definitely missed on the floor. We're glad that you sat with us here. We're glad that you shared with us, and we're looking forward to continuing to see the growth that DGA brings, or DGShape brings
DGShape,
to
yes,
the
DGShape,
market,
yeah.
and the support, so that patients can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not agnostic to clinics or labs. I mean, we've been focused on labs for a long period of time. And we have a good team. So I know, even though I'm not down there, we have some very good, capable sales guys that can do the job. They know the products. We've got Ian on board now. He used to work at Henry Schein, and he's very knowledgeable about the lab space. You've got Fernando coming up from Latin America. He's been great with taking care of the dealers, but now he's on the U.S. side, and he's doing a great job with his reselling channel. We've got Chris, who's now fully a part of our team in Canada. We've brought on Caesar for the Latin America region, and all these guys have knowledge from different areas, and combined they make a great team. So in the role that I have now, it's like I'm trying to help the things that would normally get to us get stopped up here and filtered, so by the time they get it, they can run instead of waiting, if that makes sense. Sometimes you grab stuff, you can run with it. Sometimes you grab stuff, you have to build some stuff and make it work for your region. So that's kind of how I help them now, instead of talking to the customers and trying to help out and all the other great stuff. So it's fun. I like it. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
Once again, Dwight, thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Mr. Dwight Blair.
Appreciate it.